Guess who forgot a climbing stick? Got to the first spot to check cameras, no sticks. The only problem with hanging cameras high is you have to remember your GD climbing stick. Alright, got my sticks, or a stick, and I'm headed to the first spot. What I like about this spot is that I've got a railroad track here, some water, and this railroad track makes it pretty easy to access, quiet, relatively quiet at least, in that I'm not having to disturb the timber to get in. The spot where I placed a camera was really just off the track, because there's, in this spot, it's got a lot of edge and a bunch of swamp. There's kind of this old kind of 2-track that was cut in, I'm assuming years ago, when they cut this out and were maybe updating the railroad or whatever the case was. But it makes a pretty convenient little spot for deer to travel, because the rest of the area is just so stinking thick. I scouted it this summer, didn't see a bunch of sign necessarily, but this piece is close to my house, and I can get in here and hunt in the morning before work, which is why I kind of picked it. And then once I got here and saw how easy in and out the access will be, I decided to hang a camera and just see what we have on camera, what's poking around here. If anything, I can use it to hunt some does, fill the freezer. But we'll do the camera check and see if there's any decent deer on it. So here's the 2-track I was talking about here. Kind of runs along the edge of this thick stuff, and then this is the stick stuff, which goes on for quite a ways. I got in here and scouted some of this, saw some sign, especially as you get further down that way, but there's just really nowhere to get any shot opportunities or hang, get a saddle in a tree or anything. So this area here opens up a little bit, as you can see. Just gets a little bit more open, and the railroad tracks are actually right there, so it's a really easy in and out. The one thing you have to watch for, of course, when you have train track access is the train. You'd be surprised how sneaky quite they are, and in fact, I think there's a train coming, so I'm gonna have to dip one off here before I meet an unfortunate demise. As you can hear behind me, there's traffic. I usually try to use that as my cover sound to get in here, because the access in this place is pretty brutal. It's not great. I flip around, but this place, this time of year, especially early season, just ridiculously thick. I'm here in the swamp that I hunted last year, so just to give you a little it does open up a little bit when you get a little further up here. I have a camera in here right now in the same spot that I hung one last year, so I did hunt this last year, and had some really good deer on it. I'm hoping the one made its way back and didn't get killed last year, because he was a big deer, probably the biggest deer I've ever personally hunted in Pennsylvania. So we'll check that camera, and then there's one other spot that I want to hang a camera this year, so I'm going to hang a new one as a new possible area that's along the edge of the swamp. The place that I hung the original camera was more near where I think they were bedding. I was getting a lot of daylight pictures, Mid-afternoon pictures, 12:30, 1 o'clock, of deer just kind of milling around. But for whatever reason, I had an encounter with one of them, which I talked about on the podcast early in the year. And then once this place hits like mid-October, late October, it starts to really kind of turn into a ghost town. And I'll get sporadic bucks on camera, but nothing consistent. So I'm thinking this place is somewhere I have to make hay early in the year if I'm gonna get anything done. So we'll check this camera, hang a new set, and hopefully we got some good inventory. So unfortunately, got in here, took a little longer than I wanted. The camera I had set up was batteries were dead, and what had happened was I put it in a place when it wasn't completely grown up yet, and got a ton of false positives, and basically spent the entire set of batteries in 3 days on false positives. So I've got probably 3 days of pictures of leaves. Luckily I had an extra camera, so I replaced it, moved it, but the bummer was I didn't bring any extra batteries. So the second camera I was gonna hang didn't get hung. So I guess the moral of the story is remember all the stuff you're gonna need: camera, extra batteries, and remember your sticks.